Hi everyone! I have exciting news to share with everyone, friends and family. If you're watching this, I'm engaged. So this is my engagement ring that Johnny gave me. He proposed on December 22nd, 2013, and I am so excited to share this news with you guys. It's been a long time coming, and we're definitely both really excited. So let me tell you the story. Okay, so every year around the holidays, there's a zoo in Chicago called the Lincoln Park Zoo, and they deck it out with lights. Like there's all these all the animal displays are decked out with holiday lights, and it's just a really good time. So we hadn't gone this past holiday yet, so I was like, hey, when are we gonna go to the zoo? And Johnny was like, oh, okay, well, you're off on Sunday, why don't we go then? So I was like, okay, let's go to the zoo. So later on in the week, he called me and he said, you know, we really haven't gone ice skating this year at all, and we haven't gone ice skating at the Millennium Park rink at all. And Johnny's a hockey player, so we've gone ice skating, and he's played hockey on almost every rink there is in Chicago. So we've skated everywhere. So the fact that we hadn't gone ice skating at this one rink downtown is kind of like a big deal. So he said, well, why don't we go ice skating at the Millennium Park ice rink before we go to the Lincoln Park Zoo? So I was like, oh, okay, sure, that sounds good. And so then I hung up with him and I was like, oh, cool, we've got a little date planned. So that week I ended up catching a cold. So the day came, it was Sunday, and it was time for us to go skating and go to the zoo. And I wasn't really feeling that well, and Johnny, after church, Johnny was like, well, I think I'm going to go to the gym and work out a little bit. So I said, okay, well, while you do that, I'll make myself lunch and take a little nap because I don't feel very well. So he comes back from the gym, and he starts taking a shower, and he's spraying hairspray in his hair, and he's getting himself all gussied up. He's spraying some cologne on, and I'm just sitting there in bed in a sweater and some jeans, and I'm like, we're going to the zoo and we're going skating. Why do you have to get yourself all dressed up for that? So he continues to do this, and I'm like, you know what, I don't feel like going, and I'm kind of being a little bit of a brat, and I'm like, you just go, I don't want to go, I don't feel good, this is taking too long, whatever. And Johnny just kind of was smiling to himself, and I was like, why do you have to get all dressed up and put on a nice white shirt to go to the zoo? I just don't get it, let's go. And he was just like, okay, just hold on a second, I'm going. So we finally get to the ice rink, and it's about 4:00 p.m. It's really cold, and as soon as we get there, we skated for 5 minutes, and then they told us we had to get off because the Zamboni had to come clean the ice. So we get off, and the Zamboni takes about 30 minutes to clean the ice. Finally, we can get back on. So we start skating around, and it's really crowded, and it's really cold. So Johnny, usually when he skates, he'll do all these fancy tricks, and then he'll stop really quick and then spray snow everywhere, and he does all these fancy things. And I will usually try to do turns and stuff. So Johnny was like, well, be careful, there's a lot of people here, I don't want you to hurt yourself. And I was thinking to myself oh, okay, well, he's being really careful, he's not doing all of his tricks, that's weird. So eventually we go sit down, and we're just resting, and then I was like, well, are you ready to go? And he's just like, no, are you ready to go? And I was like, well, no, I want to skate a little bit more. So we skated around for a little bit longer, and I could tell he was freezing. And I skated up to him, and I was like, are you ready to go? Let's go look at the zoo lights. Let's go to the zoo. And he's like, oh, okay, you ready to go? And I was like, yeah. So we start skating towards the exit, and all of a sudden he grabs my arm a little bit, and he goes, hold on a second. And I was like, what? And I turn around and I look at him, and he's shivering a little bit. And I'm like, are you okay? And he just started shaking a little bit, and he said, well, so And I'm like, what? And he goes, and we're in the middle of the ice rink, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, are we gonna get in trouble for standing in the middle of the ice? Like, are the little skate guards gonna come over and move us? And he goes, so we've been together for 4 years now, and I talked to your dad last night. And I was like, you did? What did my dad say? And he said, well, I said all the magic words, and I told him, he told me that I told him everything he wanted to hear, that, you know, I can't imagine my life without you, and we've been through so much together already, and that you're the one for me. And he started tearing up, and of course then I started getting like teary, and he pulled out a box. He pulled out this box out of his pocket, and he opens it, and all I see is this beautiful ring. I don't know if you can see that very well. There we go. All I see is this beautiful ring sparkling up at me, and I knew at this point the people were probably looking, and I wanted them to know that I was saying yes, so I said, oh my gosh, yes, 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 and I just like flapped my arms like that, and he looked at me like startled, and I just like was like, oh no, I scared him. So I gave him a big hug, and after I hugged him, I said, are you gonna get down on your knee in your skates? And he goes, and he smiled up at me with big eyes, and he got down on his knee. And at this point, the ice rink was crowded by itself, but then there's also this big statue of like this big silver bean in Millennium Park, and lots of people go to Chicago to look at it, and then there's like a balcony, and that overlooks the ice rink. So all the people that were up there looking at the bean came over, and people started clapping, and Jonny asked me if I would marry him, and I said yes, and I held out my hand for him to put the ring on, and he slid it on, and then this guy skated up to us, and he said, you don't have a camera? And we said, no, and we said, it's locked in the locker, our phone's locked in the locker in there. And he said, well, go get it, and I'll take your picture. So we both ran, skated off the ice to go get my camera phone, and then we reenacted the pictures. And those are the pictures that you've seen on Facebook, if you've looked at them. Those are us doing the reenactment. And it was really nice to have the reenactment, because then we could relive it again in slow motion. And it was just really beautiful. It was like perfect proposal. I'm going to get emotional, but he's just a really special guy, and I'm really lucky and happy, and whew. We had our 1 month engagement anniversary last month. So we're just really happy, and we're happy to share the news, and as soon as we start planning everything, I'll keep you guys updated. And yeah, it was just the perfect evening, and I'll always remember it, and I'll share some pictures at the end of this video. Alright, well, thank you for watching, and thanks for all of your love and congratulations and stuff if you saw our pictures on Facebook. We love you guys very much, and we're so happy to be able to share this news with you, and news, you know, just in general. It's just great news. So, thank you. Talk to you later. Bye.